You want to own the story as much as you're entitled to own it. No more, no less. If it's somebody else's story you're telling, make sure that you're crediting to somebody else. If it's your story you're telling, make sure that you fully own it. Don't sort of be pussyfooting about it. Actually own that you've done the hard yards. Own that you've been through the pain, and own that that you feel better and you're going to make other people feel the same way. Yep.
So I'm just wondering, with the Kodo dojo,
Yep.
the fact that it's free,
Yes.
was that done for philanthropic reasons, or was it because it was part of the story?
It was done for many reasons.
Was it to be, was it a marketing ploy, or was it because a sense of giving back? Was it?
Okay. It was done for many reasons. The words marketing ploy don't.
Do you know what I mean?
fit
You
into
can be
the barrels.
creative about it, or you can, and we won't tell anyone.
No, it's not a matter of there's any secret here. Kodo Dojo really is not for profit. It really is genuinely philanthropic. But we didn't have to say that. A lot of philanthropic efforts actually cost a lot of money. With We Forest, I've tried to keep the costs down. We have one full-time staff with a lot of volunteers, because I've seen bigger charities. I've worked with bigger charities, and I've seen some of the most egregious inefficiencies, if not outright theft of money, occur in big charities. Often with everybody, including the people who are stealing the money, unwitting that it's happening. And I'm not saying that big charities are necessarily bad, I'm just saying I've seen bad stuff. So that's informed my decision with every philanthropic thing that I do to make it incredibly cost effective. Right? I just don't like wasting stuff, particularly money and time. With Kodo Dojo, we figured that if we could get somebody to donate the room the first time, that would call forth other people to donate stuff in kind. And there is actually a very interesting study that's been done that shows that the more wealth you gain, there is a tendency towards your losing your empathy. And it's interesting that when you look at philanthropic work, when money comes to play, a lot of the time people also lose their empathy. And for Kodo Dojo to accelerate and grow really fast, we wanted to keep that spirit of open source. And open source is kind of great. I mean, some of the best software in the world, arguably all the best software in the world, has an open source component to it. The developer community is already into that. So it perfectly matches. So that's why I say there are many reasons.
Yeah.
What has happened is that because we've got those free spaces, other people have donated more free spaces, and they've started to see the benefits to that for their communities, for their kids, for their own kids. And then some places have donated the room and then they've offered teas and coffees charged for, and that's actually ended up paying for the room. Not an intentional side effect, but a side effect nevertheless. So it has had not just many reasons, but it has had benefits in multiple dimensions. So I'm very interested in anything that people start having this costless component in philanthropy. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah.
And that causes it to scale. We could have, with the market demand that we've seen, we could have easily made a reasonably scaling for-profit business.
That's what I was wondering.
Super simple to have done that. It wouldn't have scaled as fast.
Yeah.
I don't think anything that's completely for free is going to be outscaled by something where there's a cost, because every cost sort of lets a bit of air out of the balloon, if you like. So we both James and I consciously decided to make it completely free forever, have no commercial component, no commercial aspiration, And it actually shocks people sometimes too, because I still get people saying, like I had a school teacher come. Now we've actually invited all school teachers in Ireland to come to Kodo Dojos to learn how to program so they can teach kids as well, for free again. I had a school teacher come, look at it, say, wow, this is so fantastic, it's such a shame we don't have the budget to do this all across the country. I said, well, funnily enough, you mentioned it, but it's actually free. Oh, I know, but it's such a shame that we don't have the budget to pay for that to be free, to spread it all across the country. Well, actually, we don't actually take any money in. It's all given for free. Yes, but it's such a shame that we don't have the budget. Okay, some people will never get it. Other questions, thoughts, wishes? We haven't really finished here either.
Also, I don't think. The promise of the resolution is here.
You might want to look at what it is that you're really, really wanting. Because you want to tell a story about you that fits what you really, really want.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you're doing something great, working as a free intern, but I get the strong sense that you don't want to be a free intern.
You're right. And I actually spoke with James about this on the phone, and I mentioned the poet Rumi. He's a Sufi poet, and he had a beautiful poem, and it said, "There's a voice inside that has no words, and the voice is certainly getting stronger, but I have yet to know myself what I actually, where I want to be."
Yeah, it's a common issue that people don't know what they want. I think somebody once said that if you don't know what you want, be happy with what you have. If you don't know where you're going, be happy where you go. You know, you can just throw yourself into the arms of the universe and just be happy with whatever shows up. Then again, other people want to be more directed than that. It sounds to me like you want to be more directed than that. So I would suggest two things. Try stuff, and when you look at somebody who's really happy, ask them what they do, because whatever it is they do is as likely to work for you as it is for them. Human beings are remarkably interchangeable. And of course, when you say this, there's an inner self that has no words. Give it words. Give it a story. You know, let it come out. A lot of people actually do know what they want to do. Often they've known since they were like 5 what they want to do, and they've been told that that's somehow impractical. And I'm here to tell you that the future that you set is the future that you get. So whatever it is that you really wanted to do, including being a fireman or riding ponies or whatever, you can make a career out of that, whatever it is. So also look back, look at what really made you happy. Any question over here?
Yeah, so it's just sort of a small question on the side. In your experience, obviously, in sort of profit-making businesses and in different philanthropic endeavours, how would you sort of characterise the relationship with people, I suppose the value that they place in something versus the amount that they're likely to pay for it, or that you're asking to pay for it? Like, have you ever found in any of the, say,
How do you pricing?
No, not in terms of pricing, in terms of the perceived value of the service that you're giving. You seem to say there that some people sort of didn't quite see the value of teaching the kids the programming because it was free. They're like, well, nobody gives anything away for free that has value, so...
Yes, I've heard that.
Expressing the value.
I've heard that aphorism before.
Well, I mean, it's not something that I believe. I'm just
No, I've heard that aphorism before. People don't value anything that they get for nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a dynamic tension. If you give away too much stuff, you won't value it.
And in terms of valuation and commitment to your programs.
Yeah, so there's a countervailing force when it comes to knowledge and kids. Kids prize knowledge and power over almost anything else. Add to it that it's a bit cool, any coolness at all, and it's kind of irresistible. So from the kids' perspective, we have no issue. They love it. I'm handing them text editors, and essentially that's power tools, right? They can do real stuff. And the second we have this thing we started in Cork, it's called the class moment, right? So you have a little kid, and he's got a text editor in front of him, and you say, okay, type this HTML, and then type this hello world, and then type this /HTML. Now you're going to go save, and save that file to your desktop, right? And give it a name, like my first page. Excellent. Save it, right? Close the text editor. See that new icon on your desktop that says my first page? Double click that. And then double click the file that they've just hand created, and it pops up in a web browser. The place that they're used to everyone else's content popping up. And they see hello world, or whatever crazy message they put in there. And they go, that's class. You've got it. In terms of adults' opinions of all this, yeah, of course, we have that trouble. We have people saying, oh, it's for free, can't be any good. At the same time, we have people saying, well, it's for free, I'll take the risk.
Go,
You know, we've had no problem scaling it. The
I
demand
would think in
is
today's
off the
economy,
charts.
anything for free is welcomed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe 5 or 6 years ago they might have appreciated it so much.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I mean, I see pretty wealthy people coming just as I see people with limited needs coming. We don't give out hardware for free. We have a partnership with Kamara. They recycle business laptops, and they've done a special deal that kids can literally buy their laptop with their pocket money if they need to. I don't believe in giving stuff for free. I believe in giving knowledge for free. You know, I'm not actually being paid to be here, right? Because I do believe in knowledge. You know, sharing knowledge. I think I got a sandwich. I think last time I got a gift card for something.
Oh no!
That was nice. My wife. But you know, I'm not being paid to be here. I'm being here because I want you to get the knowledge that I'm at, right? Because I think knowledge is one of those things. You know, in open source, knowledge is something that you share. Similarly, too, you know, I get a lot of people pitch me ideas for businesses, and they say, first you must sign my non-disclosure agreement. And I go, listen, pure and simple, do. If your idea is that secret, keep it. Furthermore, if somebody else can execute your idea better than you can, they deserve it. Because ideas have very little value. It's the execution that counts.
It's like Samsung versus Apple.
Yeah, well, you know, that's probably not an exact example because Samsung did a lot of execution as well. Apple, you know, you can't patent an idea,
I know.
right? So, you know, they infringed a patent. Slightly different. When people come to you with an idea, just a plain old idea, no execution, it's got no value. It really hasn't. It's like the dancing guy who's not just crazy dancing, but he's crazy dancing